Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Fa has another aspect which is very interesting. If you go to Surah An-Nazi'ah, it begins with النازعات غرقا والناشطات نشطا والسابحات سبحا فالسابقات سبقا, like this. Allah is talking about the angels, different types of angels who employed in extracting souls from human body at the time of their death. And then Allah goes to the point where on verse 15, Allah talks about Musa alayhi salam, إِذْهَبْ إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ إِنَّهُ طَغَىٰ. Go to Pharaoh. He becomes a transgressor, a tyrant. Like Hitler, like Mussolini, like Stalin, you name Donald Trump, also even Sheikh Hasina in Bangladesh. Allah is saying using fa, can you see? So these stages actually begins from when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Musa alayhi salam, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا Musa, in Surah Taha. What is that in your right hand, O Musa? قَالَ هِيَ عَصَايَ. Musa said it is a rod, a stick. وَتَوَكَّلُ عَلَيْهَا وَأَهُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى غَنَامِي. I lean against it, and then I pick leaves for my goats by it. Then he said all these things. After that, Allah says that, فَأَلْقِيهَا يَا Musa. Throw it on the ground, O Musa. All these things, Musa alayhi salam, Allah has had a conversation with Musa alayhi salam. And in the conversation, Allah was actually teaching Musa alayhi salam how to confront Pharaoh, the tyrant, the transgressor. And it's not that easy to confront Pharaoh. Pharaoh had a superpower at that time. So this supreme superpower on earth at the time of Musa alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending Musa alayhi salam. Even with Musa, Allah sent Harun alayhi salam, his brother. Allah said, then فَأَلْقِهَا يَا Musa. Throw it. فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَىٰ. After that, it's a stages. Look at the stages. And in Surah Nazi'ah I mentioned, Allah is talking about the exercising power, the implementation of power by a tyrant like Pharaoh. Allah is saying that فَحَشَرَ فَنَادَى. He called all his people. Then he gathered them. فَقَالَ. Then he said, so all this fa begin with. Then he said, it means Pharaoh did not do just all of a sudden. He had a plan. All dictators, autocratic rulers, all tyrant rulers, they had plans. Okay, we shouldn't think that something comes from the blue and they have done whimsically. No. And of course, when they do something, they become megalomaniac and psychopath. Sometimes that hinders on their thinking process, and that leads them towards destruction. That had happened to Pharaoh as well, and it had happened to all dictators on earth, like it happened a couple of days back in Bangladesh. So Allah is saying that this is stages. فَحَشَرَ فَنَادَى. He gathered all his people. فَقَالَ. Then he called them. Then he said, أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. I am the Lord of all lords. I am your Lord, the Lord of all lords. He declared himself the Lord. So, in Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina was about to declare herself a Lord, maybe. He was in such a position. If every single thing wouldn't go beyond her command, every single paper on the desk of an employee, government servant, wouldn't move without her order, then you know that this is how she was. And then next stage is, I'm talking about the use of fa when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about a calamity or some kind of difficulty that comes after ease, and after that difficulty again comes ease. In Surah An-Sharah, very famous surah and very popular ayah, everybody says to others when someone meets and talks about their own experiences of troubles they are going through. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا, then verily in it ease or comfort after difficulty. إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا, verily there is ease or comfort after difficulty. Now the question comes, why Allah didn't say in the first place, إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا, then فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. If I allowed to say that way, it would still wouldn't change that much difference to the meaning. But the vibe and the effect of Allah's speech, Allah's commands would be a bit different. Because look at the verses. Alam nashrah laka sadraka wa wada'na anka wizrak. Allah says that, did He not open your heart? And Allah had opened her surgery to Rasulullah during his journey to see Allah in Miraj. Then Allah is saying that after opening your heart, Allah instilled knowledge, hikmah, wisdom in your heart. Then Allah prepared you, charged you to have a very hectic journey, dreadful journey towards the space to see Allah. So Allah prepared His messenger. Allah then says that فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا, then definitely all these stages, you going through all these stages, the comes is yusra, comforter, ease after difficulties. Then on that part, saying that, Allah is repeating to emphasize inna ma'al usri yusra. Allah has emphasized in the first place, and Allah has put an order of all these difficulties, okay, mentioning in the first place His open heart surgery, Rasulullah. Then Allah has mentioned everything and saying at one point that definitely after that there will be ease after difficulties. And then inna ma'al usri yusra, verily there will be ease after difficulties. So that's why if you understand, if we think over like this way, why Allah has used this particular letter like fa or wow, we will find interest in reading Quran, we'll understand Quran deeply, and we'll have good connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Give us the ability to understand the Quran and to do the dawah of the Quran. And of course, do not forget to share and subscribe and leave a message after watching this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.